Hey guys, so I'm going to talk about COVID-19 and the economy and how it affects you and your money. Okay, so at first I didn't take the virus seriously because, who does, right? But now that it's truly affecting the economy on a fundamental level, now it's making me look twice. So here you go, guys. Okay, so here's a little analysis that I made in a few hours for you guys, okay? And my internet is running super slow. Anyways, the economy is fundamentally being affected. Money needs to move around freely, right? If you don't have money moving freely around, then you don't have an economy. You don't have a global economy. We'll come back to that term later. For example, if you keep every dollar hoarded and it's not going anywhere to the simple groceries or gas expenses that you have, then nobody's making money and there's no life. There's no cycle. It doesn't cycle around, it doesn't move, which the market moves. See what I'm saying? Okay. So you need to spend money to make others make money so that you can make money because they spend money to pay you. And it's a cycle called the economy. All right. So then we look here at, okay, so now there's travel bans, right? We saw Trump say, there's a travel ban. All right. There was a travel ban, I think, in 2018, and they approved it. So it's not the first time, right? But now we're moving into this quarantine mentality, which is great, totally great, right? But not for the economy. So let's see what Trump has to say in his tweet. So here you go. It says, 30-day restricted travel from Europe.
Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic. We have been in frequent contact with our allies, and we are marshaling the full power of the federal government and the private sector to protect the American people.
Which is a travel ban.
This is the most aggressive and comprehensive effort to confront a foreign virus in modern history.
Another thing that he didn't immediately mention was that they're prepping for buyouts. This buyouts are subsidies from the federal government, just like in 2009, 2008. So if you do a little research, you'll find out that they're prepping for buyouts. Bailouts.
I am confident that by counting and continuing to take these tough measures, we will significantly reduce the threat to our citizens, and we will ultimately...
And that's what it's all about. Anyways, moving forward. Okay. So we know that it's being affected fundamentally now. It's not just a market sentiment. Market sentiment is where it's a knee-jerk reaction. It's reactionary. And that's what we saw. The market kind of dipped. But now, fundamentally speaking, you have, here we go. Tourism economy has been affected. There's this self-quarantine concept floating around. So retail spending will be impacted and other areas will be impacted, which means corporate earnings or any businesses, S&P 500, hello, in the coming months will be affected by a simple economic model, which means your corporate earnings, your quarterly reports. It's just simple math, man. It's just simple. It really is. Nothing to be scared about, or just recognize it. If you're in the money world, you just see things and you're like, oh, this is probably the time where I'm going to move my money to the G fund, money market accounts. And I did as of last night. As soon as I heard that travel ban, I was like, wait a minute, this is getting real. So we have this quarantine mentality that people are buying toilet paper, right? And here you go, just do a research. Why are they buying toilet paper? Because they're self-quarantining. If you don't go out and spend, if you don't buy burritos from Taco Bell for $1, nobody's making $1. Not even you in the stock market. Okay, moving forward. People want to crash, so it doesn't help that people want to crash. People like dystopias. They like zombie apocalypses, and they want the second coming of Christ, Judgment Day, all those things, right? So we prep and try to err on the margin of safety or something like that. Err on the margin of safety. I don't know. Anyways, but that's just to say that, we're going into, I believe, a second phase of sell-off, because now that it's being fundamentally affected, now we're going into the second sell-off. which is fueled by these indicators, right? So second sell-off. All right, historically speaking, it looks pretty good. We're reacting swiftly. We have the technology now. Think scientists and in the educational community and all that stuff. And we have incident command systems too in place. If you don't know anything about ICS, you should probably research it. And they did not have ICS back in the day. They did, but it was very, very, very brute. All right, so when is the right time to buy? The right time to buy is when they come out with a vaccine. No vaccine, no solution. That's simple. So let's take a look at what a famous doctor had to say. Okay, maybe not. Oh, that sucks. Let's see if this works. Hang on a second. This is how the government works. You're like, you're trying to do things on time and then you can't. Because there's a freaking screen Matic logo on my screen. Anyways, there's a famous doctor and there's a link below to this video. And he pretty much said that there's no vaccine in the near future. You're probably going to see it like within a year and a half. So we're going to see a sell-off. That's just the way it is. So the right time to buy is when there's a vaccine. But the right time to buy is prior to the vaccine being introduced, or when the market just kind of like normalizes coronavirus and it just kind of, balances out. So anyways, let's look at a chart. And right here we have some price points. And you probably can't see it because my screen thing is in the way. But anyways, you can do this by yourself, okay? So there's these price channels, right? And there's this hump-looking thing. Actually, there's a hump-looking thing right here. So the yellow channel is price action. And the top one is the ceiling. The bottom one is the floor. This is just simple fundamental technical analysis. And it broke the floor. And then there's another price action here on these red ones. And it actually broke that as well. And you really can't see it. Maybe if we go to the 1 day, you can see it. Or maybe not the 1 day. We should probably do 5 day. Wow, my computer is super slow. Probably because I'm doing this on my Chromecast. And, oh, there you go. You can see the red line. But let's go to let's go to 1 month. All right, so here we are at the 1 month. Boom. This is, in the trader world, this is called confirmation. All right. It hit the floor. It bounced up. It hit the ceiling. And it was like, not today. So, people, this is probably where you start shorting the market. And it went down, and then broke down. And there's a confirmation. There we go, baby. Woo! All the way down. So that's one confirmation of a downtrend. And here's another confirmation of a downtrend. These price points go all the way back to 1 year. So that's just a simple technical analysis. You can see that market sentiment, which the Dow Jones is indicating that we are in a bear market. Okay. We also have some fundamentals where we see a doctor saying that there is no vaccine in sight for the next year. So the problem persists. Okay, we see bans mentioned by the president, which entails economic conflict or economic downturn. And then we see a self-quarantine thing going on, which also affects the economic model. So there you have it, folks. If you want more detailed information, go below. You can read a little bit and do your own research. Thank you.